The Professional is a man who has suffered the fate of being turned into a killing machine with deadly accuracy and no choice but to efficiently take down his targets. If you're new to the channel, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and don't forget to give the video a share if you watch it through to the very end. The Professional has Strength 1, Perception 9, Endurance 1, Charisma 2, Intelligence 2, Agility 7, and a Luck of 7. This build doesn't really require strength. Although you do have a melee weapon, its power comes from sneak attack multipliers instead of raw damage. Perception is the most important stat for this character. The Professional never misses a shot and is an incredible marksman, so you will want to use that fairly often to reliably kill your enemies. Endurance is bottomed out as we shouldn't need many hit points. This is a stealth-based character who isn't meant to be seen. If you're not seen, you're not getting shot. Charisma is at 2, purely so we can get the Lone Wanderer perk if we so wish. Once we've got the bobblehead, of course. The Professional isn't a skilled conversationalist, and won't be talking his way out of things. Intelligence is dropped down to 2 for this character. He personally isn't very smart, but he doesn't really need to be. He is told where to go and who to take out, and he gets the job done without question or adding complex thinking to it. An agility of 7 will help out greatly with the stealth capabilities of the build. It also provides us with plenty of action points, helping to ensure we can get off all the shots we need to in VATS. Finally, a Luck of 7 makes us far more effective at using critical hits to take down tougher targets, and also helps us get headshots at awkward angles or over great distances. The essential perks for this build are Rifleman, Gunslinger, Ninja, Sneak, and Mr. Sandman. Rifleman and Gunslinger are the perks which will increase the base damage of your weapons, helping you to deal with enemies in a single shot for a large amount of the time. Ninja, Sneak, and Mr. Sandman will work together to make you a powerful stealth character. By staying hidden and eliminating your targets with silenced weaponry, you will deal 4 times sneak attack damage. With such a high multiplier, you will rarely encounter anyone who can't be eliminated in a single headshot. The Ninja perk will also give you 10 times sneak attack damage with melee weapons, and Mr. Sandman lets you slice the throats of sleeping targets, giving this build some extra damage up close. The recommended perks for this character are Sniper, Lone Wanderer, Gun Nut, Better Criticals, and Critical Banker. The Sniper perk will be most helpful for the bonus accuracy to headshots with scoped rifles, but it also improves manual sniping. The Lone Wanderer perk is one you probably won't be getting early on, but it helps out considerably in the late game, increasing the power you dish out by a fair bit, and also making it easier to survive. Gun Nut is here for you to be able to create an incredibly powerful sniper rifle for long distance kills. You may get lucky with finding powerful sniper rifles on your travels, but I put this perk in here just to be safe. Better Criticals and Critical Banker will work together to ensure you have plenty of powerful critical shots stored up to use on any challenging targets. If your enemy has found a suit of power armor or is trying to hide behind cover, then use critical shots to take them down. Keep in mind that a critical in VATS is a guaranteed hit as long as you have at least 1% chance to hit. The role-playing perks of the build are Armourer, Demolition Expert, Penetrator, Concentrated Fire, and Idiot Savant. The Armourer perk is only going to be helpful to you if you decide you want to add Ballistic Weave to your suit. I originally was going to do so, but I ended up not doing it simply because I rarely found myself in firefights, so I didn't need any extra protection. Demolition Expert is not only going to increase the damage and radius of your mines, but also lets you craft them, keeping you stocked up. Depending on how often you use mines whilst playing, you may or may not want to go for this perk though, as others will be of more use early on. Penetrator and Concentrated Fire work together to help ensure you don't miss your shots. Between them, you will gain an increased VATS hit chance through multiple shots, and also the ability to shoot at enemies behind cover. Finally, Idiot Savant is here purely because the character has low intelligence. If you want to level up faster, then get this perk. If you aren't too concerned with it though, then no need to worry. The earliest memory the Professional has is of bright lights and a woman's voice in the distance. What he doesn't know is that this is a memory of an experimental procedure being tested out on him. He had been a soldier in the military who had volunteered for a top secret task. What he hadn't known was that the task involved heavy surgery, including facial reconstruction and having a computer chip installed in his mind to help control him and send him orders. The chip also restricted the control he had over himself. He no longer could speak freely, and found that at times his body seemed to move on its own, leaving him just watching as events unfolded in front of his eyes. After the procedure, he was sent on missions to eliminate high-priority targets for the woman whose voice he had heard before. He never actually got the chance to see her, but would instead hear her voice inside his head, telling him what to do and seemingly knowing what was happening around him at all times. Every assassination went off flawlessly. Every shot he took was on target, and it seemed he was unable to miss. Although the professional couldn't remember his old life, he felt that he can't have been this accurate before, and wondered what had happened to him to make him change so much. He eventually got an insight into this during one mission in which he was eliminating a squad of snipers. He managed to wipe them out with ease, but one of them was able to get a shot off at him before they died. The bullet missed anything vital, but it did strike him in the hand, tearing away skin and revealing bones with wires going across them. He only caught a glance before his body began to move away, and try as he might, he somehow couldn't raise his arm to his face to get a closer look. In a later mission, he was sent to a civilian town and had to infiltrate a party and eliminate one of the attendees. The target was a female civilian, and the professional had no idea why he was going to kill her, but he knew he didn't have a choice. He would just have to look on as his body moved without his input, slicing her throat or putting a bullet in her back. As these thoughts were going through his mind, he noticed that his body was talking to her, offering to go to a room in private and talk. Realising that he would soon kill her, the professional mustered up all the effort he could to stop this from happening. With a huge exertion of strength and willpower, he was able to gain enough control of himself to shout the word, "Run!" The woman gave him a strange look, and his body began trying to talk its way out of what he had just said. Once again though, he was able to gain a bit of control, shouting again and causing the woman to start walking away. Although he had gained some control of his voice, he had no control of his body, and looked on in horror as he withdrew a pistol from his suit, pointed it at the terrified face of his target, and squeezed the trigger, watching as the bullet passed through her head, splattering him in blood and brain matter. His body then went on to open fire on the rest of the room, efficiently killing everyone at the party. After they were all dead, he heard a voice telling him that resistance against his orders would just result in more people dying needlessly. With the sentence echoing in his mind, he felt his body shut down, and woke up later back in a lab. In this lab, he will have his memory wiped, and after this, he is sent to live out life as an ordinary citizen in Boston. He ends up falling in love with a lawyer by the name of Nora, and even has a son, but all the time he doesn't realise that someone else is watching through his eyes, waiting for the moment to reactivate him and turn him into a deadly assassin once more. When you play this character, I suggest first joining with a railroad. I like to roleplay that he is currently in control of himself, and decides to help them out as he sees them as being morally good. He also seems to fit in quite well with them, although he isn't entirely sure why. Whilst you're with the railroad, you may wish to get the ballistic weave mod in order to make your clothing bulletproof, but if you aren't planning on taking any ranks of armourer, you don't need to worry about this too much. When you first travel to the Institute, I then recommend immediately switching sides and working for them instead. The journey will reactivate the chip in his mind, and suddenly makes him obey the orders of the first person he runs into, Father. I find this makes a nice transition into the Institute, which makes more sense than it does with most characters, who are assumed to just immediately betray their previous factions without much question. This way, the professional doesn't really get a choice. He is left to simply watch as his body is taken over by someone else once again. Although this build uses the Lone Wanderer perk, you probably won't be getting this until the mid-game. As some companions to use up until then, I would recommend travelling with MacCready or Deacon. They both work well as stealth-based companions, and their perks are great to have. Even when you have got the Lone Wanderer perk, if you have yet to get the companion perks, then I'd still recommend travelling with them until you do. The main weapons for this build will be Pickman's Blade, the Deliverer, and a sniper rifle of your own choosing. I personally carried around a couple of different snipers, a fairly far-shooting combat sniper for dealing with multiple weak targets, and a 50 cal sniper rifle for dealing with tougher enemies. The Deliverer will be your versatility-based weapon, letting you deal with enemies at close to medium range with ease. Pickman's Blade will be the weapon you will want to use if you can sneak right up to an enemy. A sneak attack with this is an almost guaranteed one-hit kill thanks to the ninja perk, and it's also completely silent, meaning you remain hidden from your targets. In addition to these weapons, I recommend using mines to lay traps for your enemies and cover your escape routes. These work well for dealing with enemies who patrol a certain route, as you can plan out where they will go, leave a mine at their location, and then just leave the area, letting them be killed as you are already making your getaway. This character will be wearing a suit and glasses. The glasses are just standard eyeglasses, which give you a bonus point of perception, and the suit can be anyone you choose. I wore the dirty blue suit, but if you want more of an Agent 47 vibe, then go for the clean black suit. Siding with the railroad will give you the option to add ballistic weave to your suit, making it easier to survive in a firefight if you ever end up involved in one. The Professional is a long-distance sniper and covert silenced pistol wielder. He will kill his targets at a distance if possible, but isn't afraid to get up close and discreetly take them out if he has to. Nobody is safe from him, so make sure a target never escapes. If you want to add a bit of a challenge while playing, then whenever you are given a mission to kill just one person, then see if you can complete the mission without killing anyone else. Instead, just wait for the perfect time to kill the target with a well-placed headshot, and then leave with your mission complete and nobody knowing who killed them. I hope you guys all enjoyed the video. If you did, then there's a great way to show that called the like button. With a simple press of a like button, you not only show how much you enjoyed the video, but also get a lifetime's free supply of air. Thank you for watching though, and if you are new here, then please hit that subscribe button, as it helps us both. You'll be helping my channel grow, and it will keep you up to date with the best Fallout builds being released on YouTube right now. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you all in the next build.